Hey everybody, welcome back to the next part in my dialing in series for the IK Multimedia Amplitube 5 software. And today we're going to take a look at dialing in some really killer, amazing Marshall style tones with the Amplitube 5 software. There's a lot of selection in Amplitube 5 for great Marshall amps. I have chosen their Brit Silver model, which is a model of the Silver Jubilee Marshall amp from, I believe, the late 80s is when it came out. Don't quote me on that, maybe 87, I think. Anyways, I am going to have a preset, a free preset, this one I'm going to show you today, up available on my website. The link will be below in the description, but I'm also going to have a full preset pack available on my website as well, which is going to have 4 presets from clean to push or edge of breakup, overdrive, and lead with a full array of effects as well. So that link will be below and that'll be available on my website also. So without further ado, let's take a look and see what I did here with the Brit Silver model on Amplitube 5. So here we are over in Amplitube 5. Now, I have a fairly basic chain here. I'm going to take you through the settings on the amp, the settings I used on the cab, which speakers, mics, and all that, and the little mastering section that I like to do for anybody who's watched my previous videos on Amplitube 5. I always have this little mastering section, which is kind of a vintage EQ and some sort of vintage style compressor to just kind of polish the sound up and give it just a little bit more of that mastered sound, let's say. So first of all, I have the Amplitube 5 Brit Silver model up here. Presence straight up the middle, bass just above 4, middle pretty much straight up the middle as well, treble just about straight up the middle as well. Output master on 10, lead master on 4, input gain just above 4. Now, we do have the ability to pull for different channels on this amp. So let me do this. Let me just close down our mastering section here and come back to our amp. Now, if I was to play with the clean channel on, which is when this is pulled out, that brings our lead master in. And we also have this pull rhythm clip selection here as well, but I have both of those pushed in. So output master on 10, lead master just above 4, input gain on 4. Now that's going to be a part of the sound, but really and honestly, the mics, speakers, and positioning of the mics I choose, plus the mastering section at the end, is going to have a far greater effect on the final outcome of the sound. So let's go over to the speaker cab. I'm using the Brit Silver 412 speaker cab that loads up stock with the Brit Silver amp model. I didn't even bother to change the speakers out. I left it at the Brit 75 speaker that comes along with it. Now when I switch over to mic, you will see that I have a couple things happening here. I have chosen the Dynamic 421, which is a model of the Sennheiser MD421 mic, and I've paired that up with a Ribbon 121, which is a model of the Royer Labs R121 Ribbon mic. For room mics, I chose the Condenser 12, and I kept that width very low. So if you'll notice on the 421, I have it set at a 45-degree angle. Now, if we take a look at where I have that placed, I have it pretty much almost dead center on the cone. Now, a lot of people might say that that's a no-no, but because I'm blending it with a ribbon mic, I'm really going for the effect of having this mic sound very edgy and almost maybe not even usable on its own, but when blended in with the room mics and the ribbon mic especially, it's going to sound really nice and balanced and work really well. So if we come over to the Royer R121 Ribbon, or Ribbon 121, you'll notice I have it dead center again, but I have it pulled back a number of inches so that we don't get that boomy proximity effect that the 121 Ribbon mic is known for. So that's going to give a nice balanced sound. And then on the room mics, you'll notice I have them very close together, but that's where I'm getting all my reverb ambience on this tone. So if we take a look at this then, let's solo out just the sound of the 421 Dynamic mic. Let's do the same thing for the ribbon mic. You'll notice I have the ribbon mic dialed in much louder, okay? So if we come over to here, we have minus 8.8 on the Dynamic, minus 6 on the 421. All right, when we solo both of those together, I'm using my Vigier GV wood with amber pickups in it. Really like these pickups and love this guitar. So if I unsolo that now, we'll just solo out the room mic. That's the ambience that I have on that. And the room I'm using is a large studio, but I just have that blended in at minus 20.7. And when we put all of that together, now remember, this is without the mastering section at the end. Nothing wrong with the way that sounds even as is. But now, if I come over to my little mastering section and I'm going to turn this on, but I'm going to get rid of both of these. I love to put the Black 76 compressor at the end. Now, this is an 1176 style compressor, it's a model of the 1176. I have it set to a 4:1 ratio. I bring the input right up here around minus 34.3, just so it's getting very little gain reduction. If I crank the input up more, I'll get much more gain reduction. You'll notice now it's just barely kissing it with about half a dB of gain reduction, but if I come up from there, okay, so I'll just go back to where I had that at, I believe it was minus 34.3. So I barely have it kissing with any compression at all, and that's really the point of this. I don't want a ton of compression, although there is going to be more when I bring the EQ in. I don't want this to be a really overt compression, more like a mastering engineer would use it. So coming over here to the EQ81, which is a model of an old vintage Neve EQ, what I did first is I crank the input up almost 10 dB and I pull the output back the same amount. What that does is it drives the input of that EQ and kind of hits it harder. And it takes in some of the non-linear distortion characteristics, in a subtle way, mind you, of the Neve EQ. Now, other than that, I have the low shelf set at 180 Hertz and I boosted that just by 1.7 dB. I have the mid frequency set at 470 and I have that cut by 1 dB. Absolutely nothing done on this band of EQ. And then I go to the high shelf at 4.7 kilohertz and I boost that by 2.3 dB. And I put a low cut on of 82 Hertz. Now, with that's turned off right now, here's the sound with that off. If I bring that in, cleans up some of the mud, gives it a little more bite, and really helps it to sit in the mix better. So really, really nice stuff. If I turn that mastering section off, and you'll notice then, because I'm driving more input into the compressor, I get about 2, maybe 3 dB of gain reduction. And that's the final outcome of that sound. Let's now take a listen to a demo video of a piece of music I put together with a full rhythm section using this preset for the rhythm guitars. It also is using the lead preset from my full preset pack that's available over on my website, which is the Brit Silver Ultimate Preset Pack. So take a listen to this. This is no extra post-processing EQ compression done after the fact. It's exactly these sounds in the mix with drums and bass, basically. And take a listen to that and see what you think of it. right, what do you guys think? I thought those tones sat nicely in the mix and worked really well. They're very tweakable with the EQs and whatnot too. I always set my presets up like that, so if somebody hears, maybe too much edge or not enough edge, they can dial it in with the EQs and have it tweaked super easy, right? If you wanted a little less bite out of this, you could come up to that high and just bring that down to 0 instead of 2.3. Or we could add more in. Really depending on what you want. I found that worked really nice in the mix. All right, so I'll have the links below to both the free version of this preset. Go grab it from my website, use it to your heart's content, tweak it however you would like. But also you can grab the full preset pack, which has 4 presets from clean, push, or edge of breakup to overdrive to lead with effects. Delay, chorus, phaser, tremolo, added in as well. And you will need a fully licensed version of Amplitude 5 to use these presets, obviously. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks so much for sharing the time with me. Please like the video and please share it with anybody who you think would get use or enjoyment out of watching it. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out, and I will be back really soon with some more content. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.